Hi, my name is Nariba Shepherd.
And I'm Justin Arnett Graham.
And this is Terms of Service.
Good evening. It is no longer, 9 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It is now the evening on a Monday.
Yes.
And it has felt like a Monday, but we're here and we're doing it.
Yep.
And I'm fucking stoked.
Yes.
So, yes. And also, I mean, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Yeah.
So, you know.
I won't lie. The idea of like recording on Easter Sunday was pretty lit. My mom would have lost her fucking mind. She would have been like, you didn't go to church on Easter? I'm like, I haven't gone to church, period, in a long time.
Okay.
But Sharon doesn't need to know all my business.
No, I mean, she knows some of it now.
Yeah, she does. Well, no, she's definitely not listening to this. 110%.
That's fair.
She's into wind chimes and hammocks these days.
Okay.
You know?
Here for that.
How have you been? What's going on?
You know, I've been fine.
Yeah.
I keep saying that I'm a part of this, journey for balance and wellness, and it sounds a lot better than the practice of it.
Word.
And that's just where I'm at. I am very fortunate to be able to, keep having conversations that, kind of drive this narrative forward. And then also the other things that we have going on. And I'm not going to get into it, but I mean, we will be doing some things.
Stuff.
Yes. Not in Chicago.
Yes.
Which will be fucking amazing. But.
And humid as fuck.
And humid as hell.
Yeah.
So, but
my skin is going to glow. Yours is going to glow too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just...
humidity. Brown
sun
skin.
Kiss me, baby.
Look at that.
It's going to be phenomenal.
It's going to be amazing.
So, I mean, since we have appropriately caught up...
Yes.
I just want to make sure that I do this correctly.
I was going to say, spit it out.
Yeah. I know that I mentioned earlier that I'm stoked, but I am also extremely honored to welcome our 2 new guests on this episode.
Yes.
Because they are wonderful individuals, and also I need to try your food. So...
Oh, we should have brought you some.
I already have.
Okay, well,
Sucker.
It's okay. I'll get there.
Yes.
Yes. And so with that, I would like to welcome our friends Eve and Alexis from Funeral Potatoes. And before we get into it, Chef Nemanja says hello.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Because
love him
he
so much.
adores the both of you so much.
The feeling is
sweetest
mutual.
man.
And
He's great.
And when I had mentioned that, he's like, oh, well, I'm not doing like a Serbian. I have no idea.
Don't do that.
But, no, I can't. But, just like his like kind of boisterous personality, because when he speaks,
It's very
direct.
Yes.
And
it's very Eastern European.
yes. And he is very, very excited. I think almost as excited as we are to welcome you both.
Fire.
So nice.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Thank you. And you reached out to us.
True that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're thirsty.
No, I'm just like, again,
Ain't
honored.
nothing wrong with being thirsty to the thirsty people out there, though.
I was like, listen, bring it on. We're gonna talk about all of it.
Yes.
And we're so happy to be here with you guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And thank you so much for your patience as we're getting this going. It's a different beast in the evening. You
Yeah.
know?
We have to send thank you for your patience emails on a daily basis.
Oh, okay.
No worries.
I'm having technical problems.
Yes.
Well, I was just like, here is my thank you for your patience email in person.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you would like to introduce yourself independently, talk a little bit about your background and how you have come together with Funeral Potatoes.
You want to go first?
Sure. I'm Eve Stanichka. I am from Wisconsin originally, born in Wisconsin, but raised in central Illinois.
Where in Wisconsin, if I may ask?
Southwest outside of Madison, a little town called Mineral Point.
Mineral
Historic
Point.
community,
Yeah.
artistic community,
I'm
agricultural
familiar with
community.
Wanakee,
Yeah.
DeForest, that
Yeah.
stuff. Is that like the other way or kind of the similar direction?
I'm not entirely sure in
Okay.
in relation to Mineral Point, but a very small town, and then I grew up in Chillicothe, Illinois, which is right on the Illinois River, and I moved to Chicago to go into documentary film production and film festival administration, which I did for 8 years, and experienced burnout, and then started doing an underground dining series. Did that for 6 years. It was called Dinner at the Grotto, and then the pandemic hit, and here we are doing funeral potatoes.
Ooh. But also,
Yeah.
there have been some silver linings with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Big time.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello and welcome.
Hi, I'm Alexis Thomas Rice from Funeral Potatoes.
Oh my God, your voice is like so great for this.
I did take the opportunity to do the NPR voice. Yes.
Both of your voices are nice. I'm like, oh, this
Thank
is
you.
soothing.
Our series answer to each other.
Yeah, they do.
Our series can't tell the difference.
Oh my God.
gosh.
Amazing.
I am from Illinois, about 2 hours west from a town called Byron. Also a super small town, like 3,000 people. And I moved to Chicago to go to college and then pursued, I worked in social services. I did as a training counselor for adult with intellectual disabilities and also experienced extreme burnout. And I was on my first vacation by myself after a breakup and was like, I'm going to just apply for jobs, like on a whim, applied for a local chocolate shop, and I got that job, and that's where I met Eve. So we've been friends for like 7 years almost.
And we've
Love
worked
that.
6 jobs together, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
let's freeze frame this moment because I need to know your signs so that I can
Sure.
like
Yeah.
see this.
Analyze.
Yeah.
Cross
I'm a Capricorn.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Our birthdays are exactly 1 month apart.
And I just want
That's
to reference
beautiful.
the fact that you totally finish each other's sentences, which is adorable.
We spend a lot of time together.
For sure.
A lot.
Yes.
Okay. So like Capricorn and Sagittarius, I feel like mesh very well together because when signs like go in, like they not overlap, but it's like one into the other, there's usually like a connection. So for Pisces, Aries, they're the beginning and end. So they like round each other out very well because they're opposites. And with Sagittarius and Capricorn, I feel like Sagittarius is like a very carefree in very specific ways, but the attention to detail, once a Sagittarius is like very into something, that's it. Like you could talk about it endlessly forever. And it's like, I wish I could have a bit of like joy and passion when it comes to things. And I feel like y'all really like know how to do that. And then Capricorn is like, I will keep things together like in a containment way. And it helps, I feel like, to like package the goods. You know, one of you has to be in charge of keeping the show together, and the other one is like, I have all of this information that you can put into use. And I mean, someone has to keep
us
on
doing this because I was like, oh. But does that track?
I feel like it's the opposite. Like,
Yeah.
you are so much better at organizing and
Yes.
keeping everything structured together and moving things in a progressive direction. And I'm more impulsive and intuitive.
Do you know what your rising and moon signs are?
Double Libra.
Okay, never mind. That makes
No
sense.
idea.
That's why.
Okay.
Libra, I love a Libra, but Libras are like, it's like chaos and drama finds them. and they don't necessarily want to be a part of it, but it's just like around them, and making decisions on a big scale is fine, but it's like the struggle of like day-to-day stuff for like Libras. And they're very like rising sign Libras present to the world very much in that way, like beautiful people that you want to know and like you have a great time all the time. But personally, the chaos is like, what are you doing?
I was like,
the fingers comment from earlier off the
God.
record makes sense.
Noiba stays the like resident expert. And I was like,
I'm not an
does that
expert.
sound
I just
right?
like talk about stuff based on, tarot card readings.
We're learning new things.
yeah.
All of the apps for like, how are you feeling these days? I've been ignoring all of them recently because, the dumpening.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
R.I.P.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
I just
also,
don't want
when
the
this-
social media
But
thing.
when this drops, it's like I said it to you during your birthday. I am here for like the Ariana Madix glow up.
Oh my
okay?
God.
That's what I'm here for.
The Scandival of it all.
So I'm just like, as a reference to Vanderpump Rules, you're going to be just fine.
Oh, I know it's
and
gonna be fine.
The world is literally your oyster.
When I'm done with my Grey's Anatomy rewatch, I will be fine.
I can't even talk about
I'm in
that
season
because I
5
feel
right
like,
now.
I feel like Grey's Anatomy will just be on until like I go to the upper room.
Oh, I'm caught up
So
still.
That's just how I feel.
I think it's going to end soonish.
Okay.
But I will watch it till it's over, till the wheels fall off.
Great.
I committed.
Okay. Heard that. So, since we have your independent background and, we have kind of set the tone with, your signs, what are you, how did Funeral Potatoes come to be what it is now?
Well, we are like a true pandemic pivot. I ran a catering company by myself for about 2 years.
How was that?
Hard.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hard, but I really like being my own boss. I didn't like our boss at all. We share that
Yeah.
feeling.
Very much.
And I was like, I've had so many shitty bosses. I'm sick of having shitty bosses. I'm going to be my own shitty boss. And
That's real.
Yeah.
It was good, but it was hard because I had to do everything. And Eve worked with me multiple times throughout that. And Eve was doing dinner at the Grotto and was the CDC at, I almost said Hoyson. What's it called? What was it called again?
Different.
Yes. Quite different. One syllable.
Yeah.
We both like she was furloughed. All of my jobs for the whole year canceled in the same week. So it was just like purely out of necessity. We were like, we're cool working together. We like cooking together, which is rare.
You're the only one.
Yeah, big time. So, and I have a van. Let's like sell
Van.
soup,
Hell yeah.
food,
Yeah.
and just see how it works. We actually cooked out of the Phenom kitchen for our very first one, and it was a terrible day.
It was, It
Yeah.
was one of the worst days of our lives, I
Yeah.
think, or at
But
least
also,
one
like,
of the
best.
hardest and best,
Yeah. We didn't know what we were doing.
Fair.
We had no process. So like we were
It's like
And
you were
no
like,
counter
we've-
space.
no counter space.
And
We were
no
like,
oven.
yeah.
So you guys
like
were
it was
just
on the
like, we work
logistical
well
side.
It was
together.
like
but
we were
like,
cooking in a Starbucks.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
yeah.
were like,
Oh my
we're
gosh.
smart. We can figure this out. We can just do this to make literally rent money. And then I
Yeah.
was like applying for jobs at grocery stores. I was like, I don't know. All my jobs are being canceled, but I have to make money. So let's just do this to like tide ourselves over for like a month.
Until the
And-
pandemic's over.
Until the pandemic's over. Yeah. We were
You're
like,
like 4 to 5 weeks. It's
Yeah.
Okay, let's just talk
Yeah.
about how
Generously,
that like moment in time where they really believed that it would be over in like 4 to 5 weeks.
nobody knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was wild. I was just out here being like, this is it. This is the end. This is The Walking Dead, but in real life. You know,
and I feel like I was just so like I was numb, but I also wanted to do something, but I had no idea what to do because everyone else was just like, time doesn't matter anymore. And, you know, I was talking to someone yesterday about this because when I hit like my like peak anxiety, I'm just like, you can put me back under quarantine. Okay. I'm just like, I was just like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anybody. Also, like, no emails. That was, for me, fucking phenomenal. I was just like, this is what I aspire. But
then
I
you like
did not want to
immediately
do that.
created things to send emails about.
Yeah.
This is also true
That's
because
what
I
we did.
knew because
Almost immediately.
I knew that people had the time to read them and respond. So I'm just like, if you did not respond to my email, I'm going to send a text message just to touch base.
Yeah.
Because I know you're not doing a goddamn thing. Okay.
Listen,
It's just like
my
it
therapist
is
tells
what it
me
is.
all the time, doing nothing is doing something.
And I agree with that.
Just
I
saying.
absolutely agree with that. It just in my mind, there was an element of pause, which was something that I knew that I was craving for so long.
Yeah.
But then it was that specific element of pause to where I'm just like, this feels a little like extensive.
Yeah.
Because- and also it felt like low-key dangerous because
Of all the people dying.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that part.
like, I mean,
yeah.
that absolutely. But then when you started looking at the community like closer, you're like, shit. Like, I mean, like, good friends of mine, you know, have no idea how to navigate unemployment. People that I know that are undocumented, it's just like, well, what's going
There's
on
no
with
social
them?
safety
It's just
net in our country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is where it's just like, okay, when we look back at this element of time, what did I do to feel as if like I was doing something greater than me during that time?
Yeah.
You know, to like be a resource, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was definitely something we experienced, was this like, you know, avoidance of boredom too, in addition to the financial necessity.
Distraction.
Yeah,
Right.
it was a necessary distraction for
Yeah.
us. For sure.
And we
Because
were
I
both
couldn't
going
keep doing
pretty
like a
hard.
Zoom
Yeah.
happy hour, you know, but like those Zoom happy hours, I felt like kept getting earlier and earlier.
I
You know,
learned
just
how
like-
to use Zoom in the pandemic because all my friends are like office people
Oh, Zoom
in
was out here
Boston.
Like,
and
during-
we're like
during the
playing
pandemic.
Zoom games.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm glad that's over. I hated that.
Yeah, no, it was the worst.
Us,
Yeah.
my husband and I and a couple of our friends tried to start a D&D Zoom group. So my husband used to be a dungeon master, and I
wow.
fucking hated it.
I still haven't figured it
Yeah,
out.
I was just
couldn't.
like, I don't actually know what that means.
I'm very interested in learning more about D&D because my nephew's like very into it. Nope, hard pass. Okay, never mind.
Maybe
I
you'll
just want
love
to
it.
know about these nerds. I did almost get into a fight with some D&D people in college though, because I was blackout drunk trying to get my dominoes and I thought that they were
where
doing
they are.
witchcraft on me. And as someone from a Caribbean island, we do not take lightly to people maybe trying to do witchcraft. In
But you like
retrospect,
tarot cards.
well, okay, so that's like the other
yes.
half of it. It's like culturally, it's acceptable if you like know what you're doing and all that stuff. But I feel like D&D is like dangerous magic in my drunk mind because it's like they don't know what they're saying and
Are you
doing.
accidentally a conservative when you're blackout drunk?
I guess so.
Because that's some like Ronald Reagan, like
I was like, I don't know
Tipper
these
Gore.
people. I'm gonna like fucking
Yeah.
break them. I went back the next
Right.
weekend and
Right.
apologized to them though.
That's very sweet.
Yes.
We're actually catering a D&D game.
Hey, we are.
Yeah.
It's a
Sounds like so much
bachelorette
fun.
party.
No, it's
Okay.
a company called Rough Magic in Chicago that does like curated D&D dinners that you can buy tickets for.
So
that I want to do that.
Well,
How do I
the
do that?
one thing
Rough
that,
Magic
that,
on
that
Instagram.
I will
Okay.
mention before we continue past this point,
Yes.
there was something that I was listening to everyone knows that I just have this like time suck, which is
TikTok?
having TikTok on your phone.
You gotta
Don't
delete
do
that
it.
shit.
I have to. But you know what? It provides me with so much joy that I was like, I'm just gonna leave it. But I'm not gonna get into that. But there was this video that I came across, and this guy that was talking about bad magic, and he was like, there was this kid that I grew up with, and he wasn't necessarily not all that. He was just different, right? And you know, he would do sign language, but people wouldn't understand. And when things didn't happen after he did sign language, they would accuse him of bad magic. And
that's
and I
fucked up.
I was like, that is awful. And then they're just like, oh, well, he was just like deaf. And I was like, that is so not funny. But it's like the whole thing with like the magic and like the bad magic thing. I was just like, yeah, it was like this dude talking about how like bad magic is a thing because people don't understand sign language. And that is
That was
only
a
one
TikTok
of the,
deep cut.
it was a
Garbage.
FYP, absolute trash. So it goes back to my point as to why don't have it on your phone, okay?
You have to pry it out of my cold, dead fingers.
Okay, like,
Absolutely not.
Yes.
I fucking love TikTok.
See?
I don't care that it's bad for my brain.
Okay, fair. Okay, well,
Yeah. So is marijuana, but
you know, I was like,
Hand in hand.
yeah, I was just like, so's a bunch of shit. So, okay, well,
you just have to curate your For You page.
oh, it's curated, and there are
get that
certain
algorithm
things.
going.
There
Yeah.
are certain things that pop up, and I was like, you know me.
Yeah.
And you know me on a level to where it's just like friends that I have had for forever would have zero clue. And
Remember when you first
amazing.
posted in your story and I messaged you and I was like, did someone hack into your account? Like straight up. It just didn't, it came out of nowhere. It felt like a me moment.
my cup was overflowing. Okay, so I will leave it. I will leave it at that. So, I mean, and I'm not mad about it.
You know, this went on a tangent from the point where you were talking about your best and worst first day together.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So
That'll
let's
work.
bring them back.
All right.
And we were talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and then I was thinking about bad magic, and then
I know, but
like
that tangent went from like a plot point.
Oh, that's
You know?
that is correct.
I was just pointing
Marcus,
it out.
please make a note of this. Thank
Cut
you
it. Cut it
so
out.
much.
No, it's gonna
Cut it.
be there. You
But
know?
you know, it's gonna fit.
Yes.
Tell the people. Tell the people about
people
the Trader Joe's
today.
bags.
Well, we had no idea what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah.
And we also had no idea that anybody would be interested in what we were doing. So
feel that.
we're in the Phenom kitchen. We've just trekked through the mud with all of our goods from Restaurant Depot, like 275-pound coolers, and
Damn.
there's limited refrigeration space, and we're packaging hot polenta. We're getting these burns on our arms because we've got one induction burner and the lids
one
are
toaster
collapsing.
oven.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
we thought we would be there for a couple hours. We were there till like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, it was like a 16-hour day.
Yeah.
Everything just took twice as long, and there were like 85 problems popped up. We were also like hand typing email invoices for
Yeah.
every individual person. It was, yeah, we were little babies. We didn't know what we were doing.
and the next day we had to do deliveries, so we were packing everything in Trader Joe's bags
Because
that
my husband works
Alexis's-
at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah,
And,
they're free.
And we were planning on doing this for 4 weeks, and now we are on week 137.
Oh,
39.
139.
Damn.
love the specifics on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's actually more because we don't count like our Christmas menu.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a number, but yeah,
But yeah,
it's been 3 years.
It's wild to
That's
think
awesome.
about how far we've come and how far so many people have come, and that the pandemic was a catalyst for
so
this.
much shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the worse the pandemic got, the better our sales were.
Right.
Like, definitely weren't wishing for that, but
Yeah.
it has been a process of like there's been a lot of different scaries. There's like the pandemic scary, and then there's like, oh no, people are like going outside and eating out again. What if just everyone stops ordering? This is like our full-time job now. Yeah, there's been a lot of growth.
Yeah,
figuring out how to be sustainable
makes you really pay attention to those like bittersweet gray areas.
Right.
And and then also the restaurant industry, had so much drama occurring right as we were getting started. And I think we've both very deliberately existed on the fringes of the restaurant industry for our entire careers. Neither of us has ever wanted to work in a restaurant. And
in a traditional restaurant environment.
Restaurant environment.
Right.
I've done dishes at a restaurant, and and Phenom was more of a cafe. So we've never worked the line. We've never been in the kitchen.
We didn't go to culinary school. And I don't want to, that's never been a goal for me. I don't think that ever will be a goal for me, working for somebody else in that capacity. But it made us start thinking about what we were doing more deliberately, I think, at that time, where you see the toxicity of the industry coming to the forefront and more people are telling their stories. And I think that felt legitimizing in a way to look at what we were doing. And what we were doing was kind of a mistake. We weren't deliberately setting out to start a business, but as we learned more about what is happening in the industry, it felt like, we've created something that is like the antithesis of all that. It feels like when you have shitty parents, or like people that have shitty parents that are like, I'm going to be the best mom because I'm going to fix all the mistakes, which is sometimes delusional, but that's definitely how being a boss has felt for me. Like I'm going to not do all the things that all my terrible bosses have done and
100%.
Change it.
And it's funny, and we'll talk about this later because there is a wonderful individual that is here presently that I want to reference, but I'm going to do it in full later. But we had spoken with her on an episode prior.
Are you talking about old girl back there?
Yes, I am. And
so cute.
Yes, and so Cheyenne English, who we love so very much, had an episode called Happy Accidents.
Imposter glasses.
And so, and right on time, Cheyenne. Thank you. And so what was really interesting about that episode was just like taking things that are different and unfortunate, but then really working it to your overall benefit. And like that was the number one thing that popped into my head while you were speaking. It's just like about like happy accidents there. It's just like it's something that it was a struggle, but you then made it into something so great. And I think that that's amazing. But I also have to ask, what does funeral potatoes mean? Because I think I know what it means.
You don't know.
Listen, I'm asking for those out there that may not know what it means.
All right.
It's really down the middle, 50-50 of people who do and don't know what it is.
Well, I'm gonna be on the have-not side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Please, we have this so down now.
Now we're going back to square one. Yeah. We were on deliveries. We were going by both of our business names as like a collaboration.
Yeah.
And that was getting incredibly confusing. So we realized we needed to rebrand and have a new name and make this all official. And we were talking about the experience of growing up in a small town where if somebody has a baby or if somebody dies or if there's a wedding, there are potlucks and there are neighbors coming over with casseroles and, the funeral.
Just never actually happened to me. Has it ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm usually
Not me.
The giver.
The giver. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I gotta like go collect the Pyrex after
Eve
the
like
fact.
brings cookies to the people that work at Walgreens on Thanksgiving Day.
okay, that is absolutely.
I just
Makes
make
a
too
real
many
sweetie.
cookies.
You're like, I made way too many, so that's why they get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
But funeral potatoes is the name of a cheesy hash brown casserole made with sour cream. It goes by a lot of different names. Party potatoes, potato hot dish, things like that. And Alexis suggested it as a joke. And I think we like pulled up to a red light and looked at each other a couple minutes later at the same moment. We're like, wait a second, like maybe that's not such a bad idea.
Yeah.
And we floated it out to a couple people whose opinions we trust, and they loved it. And we, talked to our parents about it, and they hated it.
Yes.
And
You're like sold.
and it stuck.
Yeah.
As you're describing it and you said funeral potatoes, I'm like, hear me out. Matching tattoos, headstone, tater tot.
Very cute.
saying.
When we were working with our branding designer, Katie Mazinkis, she gave us like 2 routes, and one is kind of the like retro font that we use now, and the other one was like the shape of a headstone with a graphic of a potato plant.
Some garbage.
Which is, I would still love to get shirts made of that one,
Yes.
honestly. Yeah.
Good tattoo design.
Yeah.
I want to try to grow potatoes at least once.
I don't think they're hard.
I don't think so either. It's just a time commitment. And
Sure.
I don't have a porch or outside.
It really doesn't make sense money-wise.
Oh, I know. I just want to try it. It's like I tried to do peanuts, and you get like 5 from a plant.
And
but
it's like $1 for a pound of peanuts.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because I went into it solely on the fact that it pegs. I was like, gotta grow that. It's a pegger. Not worth it.
What does that mean?
So
I know what
it
pegging is.
flowers.
Yeah.
So
for those
and
of
that's
you
essentially
at home
what
that
it
do
does.
not know,
Oh.
you can go ahead and figure that out on
My
your
mom
own.
is furiously Googling right now. Mom, stop Googling.
It's a
need that
flower.
safety mode on. Okay?
And then
Yeah.
like the stamen of the flower like shoots out from it and then pegs
tracks.
the ground.
Oh, cool.
And then the peanuts grow underground. So you have to like
That's
rip up the
cool.
whole plant. And I was like, it's a pegger. Let's do this. Wasn't worth it. But now potatoes, I'm interested. I gotta do
I
that.
believe in you.
For sure. So, my follow-up question, but before we get to that, I would naturally like to cheers this conversation because, again, I'm super stoked that this is happening, but then also I realized, and Nariba has said this in the past, she creeps.
Yes.
But I always say that I research, and I have been paying attention to the both of you longer than what I had actually realized, because when
It's creeping.
it was researching. And so when found out about that DM, I was like, that's not okay. That's who I think it. Yeah. So again, cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here.
Yes. And we are currently enjoying the Nopal Spritz, which is featuring Ritual Zero Proof tequila alternative. Excuse me, got something stuck in my throat there. With peach puree, Mediterranean tonic, and lemon juice.
This is
And-
delicious.
Yes.
Let's
yes. And
Cheyenne.
together.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
It's giving Miss Perfect Pour. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
I can't wait to talk to her about
Yeah.
Scandival,
Yeah,
you know?
it's-
But this is amazing.
Yes.
I really enjoy it. I love a fruity bitch, and this is
Very well balanced.
Yes, real
Delicious. Lovely. Yes.
Want this
Punchy.
on a porch swing.
There's...
It's because we just had fake summer,
Yeah.
and now
Also
we're
that.
back in
it.
regular,
Also that.
degular winter.
Also that. As this is spirit-free, I feel like it also qualifies as what I've referenced as a patio pounder.
Oh, 110%.
You know
Oh my
what I
God.
Like,
I'm back at the patio.
Yes. Yes.
yeah, I was just like, no, you can just keep this coming. This is great.
I officially start back at the patio this week. So that I call my job on the Riverwalk like a big porch. It's just all patio.
Love that.
And I really enjoy it because it's the opposite of bartending. It's like they come and they order and you immediately give them their drink and they disappear and you never see them again.
I love that. That's
It's
what
just beer
Salt Shed was
wenching.
like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're wenching.
Yes. So I bartend 3 days a week and then I beer wench, but in a supervising capacity the other 3 days. So it's kind of like being an adult is stupid.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So
Moral of the story.
yeah, I was like, and you know what? And we're done.
Yeah.
But no. So you both talked about your experience through the industry, but it's been, like industry adjacent, right? So what has really inspired you of the industry to want to, in my opinion, bring you closer into it? Because I know we're going to talk about it, but you're currently looking at a brick and mortar kind of future.
Baby
Exciting
steps.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do we like about it?
Yes.
The food.
If you're not inspired
Yes.
by it. You're like, I don't know if we're inspired by it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we both probably are. There's like restaurants that we love.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be like Noma's, they're not going to. Yeah. I think
And that's entirely okay.
they're more, I think we're more inspired by like my great grandma, Dorothy, was Irish Catholic, had 12 kids. I'm inspired by like, somehow she made just like really cheap vegetable soup taste so
Yes.
good and so warm and so nostalgic. Like I think one of the major problems with the restaurant industry is that people act like they're curing fucking cancer by like making
Preach.
good food.
Fucking
and,
preach.
And women in particular have been feeding and like nourishing people delicious food a lot better than a lot of things I've paid a lot of money for I almost said dozens of years. For
15 years.
For so much longer than that.
It's
And,
the
like,
original form of social work, feeding each other.
they're not getting the same
They don't have any equity.
It's not
Yeah.
giving.
yeah. So
know?
I don't know. I think
Just period,
I'm
not
more
giving.
inspired by like people making food taste good because they don't have a lot of money but
Yes.
still want their family to eat well.
Yes.
Than I am by like, I don't know, anything else.
Sidebar question. What is your favorite thing to make for yourself at home out of nothing? Something out of nothing.
Ooh. Okay. My little sister will love this. We call it toad in a hole
Yes.
or bullseye.
Okay.
It's just a piece of bread, cut a hole in the middle, fry it on both sides, and then crack an egg in the middle. Mm-hmm. That is a very good meal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have my parents. I grew up on an overgrown Christmas tree farm that is just thick
That's sick.
with garlic mustard. It's just everywhere. It's super invasive. So whenever I go down there, I'll just pull up some weeds and bring them back to Chicago with me and just make pesto. So garlic mustard pesto, butter noodles, maybe a can of fish,
Yes.
Parmesan
What about you?
from
You
the
got
green
one?
can.
I mean, for me, I was like, because like both of those sound absolutely amazing. It's very simple in regards to all of the ingredients. It just takes forever. Like to do it well, it's just like a day and a half. Like
You talking about oxtail?
I'm talking about that oxtail and olive stew, baby. It's just like
Something
that
out of
is-
nothing.
Sounds
and you put
good.
Oxtail.
I
I
had
just, it's
oxtail.
Dang.
I have to make you some. It's perfection, but also it doesn't have to be oxtail, but just
That flavor profile.
That flavor profile.
Fair.
It's everything.
A slow simmered, spicy,
Yes,
chunky.
it just like it literally will connect you to things that you have never even thought about.
I feel that way about eating greens.
Yes,
Big time,
yeah.
like making a big pot of greens. I'm
Yeah.
married to a pescatarian, so I can never like put ham hocks in them
no
now.
ham hocks.
But making like a big pot of vinegary greens with a shitload of pot liquor
Yeah.
truly is a weird connection to
Yeah,
your.
yeah, and it's
you
just,
ever-
it's just up there. You're like it. I mean,
Have you ever tried doing it with crab meat?
No,
Oh,
fancy.
My-
You got that
no.
crab meat.
Like-
Lonnie?
you were looking at me about like, come on.
My dad was a pescatarian, so my mom wouldn't use ham in greens when she did it, but she would just like throw like it's Trinidad also, so like a blue crab isn't like crazy there, and just throw that in there, and
Yeah.
it gives it like a very good flavor profile.
That sounds great.
And changes it up a little bit.
I'm all for liquid
I
smoke.
love that.
Yes.
Liquid smoke is tried and true.
My trash garbage is a can of corned beef and a can of baked beans and like some cabbage, and you make it in the style of like a bolognese, and you just put it on pasta. And in Trinidad, that's like some real poor people shit.
Yeah.
But I will eat that for days.
Have you ever heard of SOS?
No, what's that?
Shit on a shingle.
No, what is that?
This is like my mom's generation of poor people food. It's chipped dried corned beef
In it
in
already.
a flour and milk gravy on white bread.
Yes.
Shit on a shingle.
I would do that.
Yeah,
It's
like old man food. You don't need teeth to eat it.
Amazing.
Just go ahead and
Shingle.
slurp it down,
Yes.
and you'll be the happiest that
Yeah.
you
Oh my
can be.
God.
Oh, pepper surprise?
Oh, pepper
What is pepper
surprise.
surprise?
Pepper surprise.
Pepper surprise. So my dad, he gets
And
these.
by the way, I've only had a banana today, so keep going.
Oh, you're gonna get so hungry after this.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
So
Sorry,
yeah,
Seth.
my dad, he gets these like hyperfixation snacks where for a couple weeks he'll just, he's discovered a condiment pairing that's they get super into. So this a couple months ago is pepper surprise, which is, let me see if I can remember this correctly, sport peppers and barbecue sauce
That's all.
mixed together, and that's it.
Eve?
And we
Yeah.
put it's go ahead.
No, please, I'm interrupting.
I was like, and that's it.
And
That's
that's it. And
Okay.
you know, he'll eat it straight up, but there's my sister will send me
Straight
pictures
up
straight
on
up
what?
in a bowl in a ramekin.
In his mouth.
Okay. Okay. And just
And that's it.
That's hardcore.
You
In a
know,
ramekin. That's so generous.
in a coffee mug.
Yeah.
My sister will she'll send me pictures, and it's like she's got a plate of nachos, and he just sneaks over and drops a little pepper surprise on there.
Oh
and
my
that's-
God.
That sounds like a porn thing. The way you said it, drops a pepper surprise in there.
You know, it's
mean-
ladles. Is that better?
Oh my God.
Drenches it.
It's just getting weirder and weirder, and I like it.
Wow. Yeah.
I have yet to try pepper surprise, but
How have you avoided?
Yeah,
I can't even imagine.
they live
It's
a
so
few
hard.
hours away.
The siren song.
Well, and this is one of those moments where I'm just like, that could easily be the name of this episode.
Oh my God.
My dad will love it.
Yeah, he will.
Oh my god.
He's a race car driver, and
Okay.
does it make sense now?
Yeah. I want to go to, like, I don't even know how to explain that. Is it a sport?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a sport.
Sure.
And you don't have to go to it. It's coming here.
Yeah.
Oh, don't even tell me about
You
it. I'm
gotta go
working the
see
porch
Seth.
that weekend.
I
I'm
see
ignoring
Mad
it.
Badger
Our
racing.
logo is on his race car.
I want to
Yeah.
go
Oh, wow.
see any sort of like racing event, and I've never been given the opportunity to do it. Like, I want to go to like a monster truck thing. America's fascination with this is like, I just need to know what it's about.
You
Come to
can
the
YouTube
Peoria
it.
Speedway with us this summer. We're gonna
Yes, I will request off
We're
from
gonna
both
tailgate.
jobs. All right, I'm ready. In it to win it.
I wanna
I'm being
go.
serious.
I was like, that sounds
road
like
trip.
an adventure. I was
Okay.
like, yeah.
I'm ready. Yep. I got the connect.
You know, this is all reminding me of. I think that's something that we try to do when we develop menus a lot is drawing inspiration from unsexy dishes that have, had a bad reputation, or that we grew up eating, and that weren't anything special to us at that time, but that we're very nostalgic about now. And it's a fun challenge to take something like meatloaf. Like, how do you make a sexy meatloaf? Alexis figured it out. And
Okay.
They're not usually sexy.
Yeah.
I beg to differ.
Sexy Meatloaf sounds like a fire band name.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It sounds
Yeah.
like a Halloween costume.
Oh my God.
Also
Presenting in the year of 2023, Spencer's Fall Collection. Sexy Meatloaf.
But you heard it here first, and there is licensing.
If
that
it
is
comes
involved, and you
out,
better
we
reach
will
out
find
to
you.
Funeral Potatoes about it, okay?
We'll be right here.
Yeah, that's been really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, going back to what you were talking about, Alexis, I think when you watch like a documentary about a chef, there's 9 times out of 10, they're going to be talking about a matriarch in their family who taught them to make
100.
pasta or something, And historically, not only did that generation of women not get the credit they deserved or the opportunities that they deserved, and many of them were, put in a position of obligation to create food. I think one of the depressing things that I see about the restaurant industry, and I know you asked about the good things, but this is coming to mind.
Okay. I mean, I like to lead with the good things, but I mean, there's
about the journey.
That's not very Midwest of you.
When I
We like
when
to
I
complain.
Yeah. I love that about the Midwest. New England is not like that.
Midwest nice here.
Poster child.
When you were like talking about that, I thought of Vinny's mom from Jersey Shore.
Oh yeah.
And how she like shows up with everything and like it's just expected. And like I feel like that generation of like lady chefs or like not cis het white dudes is now starting to get more of the attention because it got so smashed down by like the brigade system, essentially, the creation of that. It's just like, it makes my skin crawl when I think about it too much. But Vinny's mom, she knows.
It really feels like, at least for me, when I see chefs talk about these kinds of things, especially in fine dining culture and especially celebrity chefs, there's it's like that was the magic that inspired you, was the cooking that your mom did from her heart, and now what you've created is the opposite of that. There's you're running a restaurant in many cases where equity is not at the forefront of your business plan. Correct. And reverence for feminine creativity is not part of your business plan, and humility is certainly not a factor. And, so all of these things that made those scent memories so important and valuable are being neglected for, fame, glory, and ego. And I think we try very hard to not do that.
We try to stay humble, not take ourselves too seriously. We are making food that's going to get shit out. We are not, I love what we do. I don't consider myself an artist. I consider myself a chef, a cook, whatever. I'm cooking food for people. I like that. That's fun.
I think you're an artist.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you. So does my mom. My mom loves to look at our menus and go, wow, the stuff you guys make, it's so weird. It's great. I love it. It's
interesting.
So weird.
Yeah. Got the interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But mostly like, it's nice to see people enjoy the thing you made.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I used to like tell the dudes that I worked with all the time, like, we chop vegetables for a living. Like, calm down. It's not that serious.
It's definitely not worth like breaking down people's self-esteem, expecting them to sacrifice their bodies and their time. And yeah.
I will say though, when I got my first sous chef position, I think that the chef that I was working with embraced that I was not someone who, he was the kind of guy that didn't like to be the bad guy. And I was out here not giving a fuck about anything. I'm like, oh, these are the things you want me to convey. I'm going to do that. And I felt like I definitely made people cry, but it was always like dudes who literally wouldn't listen to me, and they cry because I explain why it is they're fucking up. And I think holding people accountable for their actions and their lack of like giving a shit about their job is something that industry guys don't get without a bro-y compensation. And I wasn't trying to like be people's friends outside of work. I was like, I will be friendly and kind and all that stuff with you, but like at the end of the day, this is not a family. Like, right. I was like the first person to be like, I am not your family.
Right.
And
I
like
never trust any job listing that says that.
Yeah. And like,
yeah, join the family.
Yeah.
And people would be like, well, that seems
drink
like
the Kool-Aid.
rude.
Yeah,
like you don't like love being here. I'm like, I love my coworkers. Like I enjoy the relationship that we have, but like I will never sell you on it being a family.
Right. And so I'm just going to take a backseat here because I cannot contribute much, especially in regards to, you know, the three of yours experiences. And
Me neither.
I think that
Never worked in a restaurant.
but I also feel there's this assumption that women cooks,
Ladies in the industry.
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
that we're gonna be like,
that we're
That's why you
soft.
can't relate.
yeah. I'm just like, I can't, like, I only want to kind of go into that further, but again, just me being on the sideline, because there are certain things that I have said to Michelin-starred chefs, line cooks, in regards to like things that they have said to me, but it has been met with a level of understanding because they see that we're quote unquote an equal, even though, you know, I'm a homo and it's like, God forbid.
I'm a homo.
It's just like, you know, guilty. But so, yeah, I just wanted to touch upon that, and you know, I think it's really important to reference it because, you know, the industry needs to do better for a multitude of reasons, but specifically how male chefs deal with women in the industry is something that I don't feel is spoken about enough.
Yeah,
I
It's
think
weird.
in addition to all of the obvious issues, there's this expectation on female chefs, on women in the industry in all capacities, to assimilate to the toxic behavior of the dominant culture.
Oh yeah, I was in it for a while. 110%.
Yeah, and we're, you know, nobody is immune to it. I definitely feel the you know, urge to have like that toxic chef bro thing every once in a while.
Like I'd rather be on the same side than be the one being made fun of or whatever. Yeah.
But I think that we have fortunately been able to kind of see, like, our entire team.
We don't work with any men.
We don't work with any men. Our whole team is women.
Yeah, not by choice. Just it worked out that way, and now it's been good.
And it's been great because it cultivates a work environment where we're not trying to assimilate or, you know, take on any of the traits of this oppressive group.
Yeah.
We can just be ourselves. And that does, you know, in many ways, it's not what you'd expect it to be. We're having fun. We're enjoying each other's
It's like
company.
a tampon commercial.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Listen, I
They're
very
great. We love
recently had a conversation with one of my like managers about how hospitable I am. And I'm like also the only woman of color on the bar staff. Is that accurate? Psst. That's true. Cool. I could literally sometimes I'm like, who works with us? But I was like talking about it after the fact. And I think it's like literally personality things because like I am very hospitable, but I'm not trying to like make anyone believe that we are friends outside of this interaction at the bar. And I think that for other people who have been like in the service industry front of house for longer than I have been, it's like they have a very curated way that they like to be friendly to people, and I'm never trying to be friendly to people. So I'm as nice as I could possibly be. And I spoke to him about it after the fact, and he understands where I'm coming from. And I was like, I am not like white lady approachable. I have made my entire existence so that no one approaches me
We're
about
on opposite
anything.
ends of the brown person spectrum. I was raised by a white lady, so I'm incredibly white lady approachable. Too approachable sometimes.
I know, I was just going to say that.
Yes.
I'm like, and like people who know me and are friends with me, they're like, you're so nice. Like you're completely approachable. And it's like, thank you. But also, can you tell that to like the people at my bar?
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
So I think a lot of it is about the expectations of what not like lady types, ovary carriers, whatever. I think that dudes just don't know how to interact with you outside of a romantic relationship.
Sure.
You know?
Their perception is biased based on their preconceived notions of
Yeah.
what women are like. I feel like we run into that more in like, sometimes it feels like our male peers don't take us seriously.
Yeah.
Like when we, not all the time, we have like Pneumonia.
Yes.
Pneumonia
amazing.
is
Yeah.
so supportive, and he's like this big, tall,
walking teddy
handsome
bear.
man.
My
And
God.
he just has from the first time, I think you knew him before me.
Yeah, just briefly.
He's just never been anything but like supportive, kind, treated us like we are equals. And Pneumonia's an amazing chef.
Yes.
But we work in a commercial kitchen, and
I was making eyes at you. Reel it in, girl.
I was like, ooh, I want to know. Tell it.
reframe.
Editing note for Marcus. Yeah.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
We have encountered peers who seem to treat us like, oh, that's cute. It's so cute that you guys are doing this thing. And it's like, we make so much more money than you. I know we must, A. And also, I think a lot of it's, I mean, there are people that are like, don't really take you seriously if you didn't go to culinary school, which just, yeah, I think that's where I notice some bias is like, or like, okay, before we started Funeral Potatoes, I ran a catering company called Black Cat Kitchen. And
Yes.
we also had a booth at farmers markets. And my husband, before we were married, would come help me. And he doesn't know how to cook at all. He would just like pour lemonade and take money. And people always assumed he was the owner.
110%.
Because he's a tall bearded white man. Like,
That's
yeah.
I would do pop-ups and stuff with my like ex and they
R.I.P.
always thought that
R.I.P.
he was the one in charge. And I'm like, he put all the things in boxes and carried it here
Yeah.
today. Like,
And it's really hard to tell. You probably relate to this. You probably both do. Sometimes you're like, where's the bias? Is it that I'm a woman, that I'm brown, or that I'm young? And I feel it sometimes when the brown one, because I think people look at me, especially when I'm like doing deliveries and looking really gross and shabby, and then hear me talk and are like, oh, a good one. Like a safe one, you know?
so like,
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
I called to set up a stage at this really well-known Michelin-starred restaurant. And I was like, hi, my name's Reba. Like, I was told to do this, blah, blah. And I show up, and this is like 23-year-old me, so I still had dreads at the time. And I solely wore cut up, like, old ski and snowboard club shirts all the time. And I walk in, and it's like the middle of lunch service, and it's just like all old white people in business suits. And I like walk in, and they're like, "Can we help you?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm here for my stage. My name's Reba." And the sous chef at the time comes up and is like looking for Reba, and like I could tell that my on the phone voice did not match what he thought was going to show up. They did hire me, but it was like I saw him like gather it.
The DSL dial tone. Yeah.
And it's just like, oh yeah, do I sound like not a black woman on the phone? Do I sound like not a black woman on the podcast? Hit me up. Let me know. Let's do a poll.
Slide into Reva's DMs. She's single and she wants to know what race she sounds like.
Oh my gosh.
Surprisingly enough,
let
the
us all
slides have
know
already
what race
started,
we sound
and I'm
like.
like, for real. Let's do a poll. People are already
We can
sliding
do
into
a
the
poll,
DMs. I don't
actually.
need that. Can we?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it'll be a part of this episode.
It's going to be part of the, what is it when we do all the pictures? Promo.
Yes. There we go. Yes, it'll be a
Nothing
part of the
problematic
answers.
will happen
Nothing,
if we just
absolutely
ask
not.
people to guess our race.
Yes.
Brought to you by, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not plugging
A
anyone.
creepy man at Aldi that comes up to you and is like, "Do you speak Spanish?
Oh my God.
Are you Dominican?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I once had
Yeah.
a dishwasher be offended that my parents never taught me Spanish. And I'm like,
Same.
where do you think
you
I'm
don't
from?
speak your mother language? When I was a cashier at Walgreens, I used to hear that all the
Oh my
time.
God.
Like, no. Oh, thank you.
Yes. No, you're welcome.
Oh,
was
this
just-
is so pretty.
Yeah, we
Just
have
talking to
another-
someone about that. God
like,
damn,
okay.
it's real.
One time we had we were doing an interview.
A handle. Oh, yes.
Sweet relief.
Yes. I don't have a handle, but it's okay.
Oh,
It's okay. Inventory. It's
Mug
okay.
it up.
Yeah.
we were confirming photographs for an article that we were in, and the
That's
The-
good as fuck.
journalist was
I know where you're going with this now.
And also, I couldn't get past Nariba being like, "This is good as fuck." And I was like,
I'm ready to try.
Okay.
I'm just hanging on this. Anyway, she was like, I know in the separate pictures who the two of you are, but like in the pictures of you together, can you identify yourselves, because it's kind of hard with the face mask.
"No."
Truly doesn't see color.
First Siri. Now this.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
I
this
must
is
have been a
good.
little pale that day.
Yeah. So
I will say in the past week, someone did tell me, I don't see you as a black woman. I see you as a badass woman. And I was like,
Not the
no,
compliment you think
no,
it is.
that's not- no.
you know? So we out here.
No. Boo to that person. Yeah, no. And so our next beverage offering
Is good as fuck.
Yeah. Thank you, Nariba. From wonderful Cheyenne English, is the Sheepy Peacock with Ritual Zero Proof Gin Alternative, blueberry, lemon juice, and lavender syrup from good old apple cordials with Todd Apple and amazing Lisa. I can't say her last name, but I love them so much.
them.
I know they're the best.
From the farmer's market.
Oh, they're so good.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
Like the sweetest people.
Very sweet.
Absolutely.
Well, this is delicious.
Delish.
Is this fresh blueberry? Damn.
Very fresh.
You're like, this is okay.
It's got them
good as
growing
hell.
back there.
This is wonderful.
God.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
Thank
This
you.
is-
Cheyenne.
Thank you.
So, I'm not going to get into it. We are going to be coming up on time.
Boo.
I
know.
boo to
I
this
get it.
man.
I know.
I'm sorry. But so, I have an additional question that I would like to throw out there. So, we talked briefly about your fundraiser, but I feel like this naturally kind of aligns with my curiosities about your hopes for the future. Like, like your contribution into the hospitality landscape, because when you achieve that goal of having your own brick and mortar, it's way different than being a pop-up and, doing everything that you have been, because it seems as if the stakes are higher, right?
Definitely.
So you talk to me about what your thoughts are for you both, and, Funeral Potatoes, hope for the future.
Well, great question. Before I forget, please follow us on Instagram.
Yes. We do that at
funeral.potatoes. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of our fundraiser, we're having a Howdy Y'all disco ball. It is Dolly Parton disco inspired.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Tickets are on sale right now. You can find the link on our Instagram. There's going to be food, drag, a silent auction.
Love it.
Maybe a best dressed competition.
You get to see our moms dancing.
You get to meet our moms.
What day of the week is this
It's
on?
a Saturday.
Oh, I'm selling my soul.
Take the day off, girl. You deserve it.
I am obsessed with Dolly Parton in like a aesthetic way.
Yeah.
And also
She's
just
a
being
queen.
like a cultural icon. And
yes.
like,
All of the
being
things, but
a
like
fire-ass person.
You
Does
can live your
she-
Dolly dreams at our party.
Yes,
where we're
there's gonna
raising
be
money
a,
to open a brick and mortar.
best dress
Damn right.
contest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm never best dressed, but I will be there.
You can wear your
just like, I most
see-through
certainly
pink
will be
outfit.
there.
Oh my god! With my whole ass hanging out.
You will not be the only one.
There will be no
God.
children.
Yes.
Children allowed.
You can let the yiddies out.
Kids. Just kidding. I love kids, but also fuck them kids.
No. And we have a GoFundMe. So donate to our GoFundMe if you can't come to the party, because we really want to open a restaurant, and restaurants shouldn't only be accessible to people that have $1 million investors and rich mommies and daddies, and we don't have that. So
Is the link to it in your Instagram? Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
All in that link tree.
Hustle that shit.
Yes. Anyway, the question was, how do we see ourselves contributing to the hospitality landscape? Well, I think one thing that I love about us is I think we're good bosses. We really try to treat our employees with respect. We don't expect them to be... they're not our little soldiers.
Yeah.
They're like their own people, and we literally could not do our job without them. We see them as invaluable, and people whose time we respect and who deserve to be paid well. And I think running a business the way that we run a business is like proof of concept that more people can do it that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Bringing it out
Yeah,
in the middle.
that's a small part of it.
Yeah.
Eve
I think
will have
that's-
some more
that's
stuff to contribute.
That's definitely at the core of it too, like the ethics that we want to bring to this. And creatively, there's only so many ways you can construct a menu around making everything frozen.
Yeah.
It's too...
Eve wants to make some toast.
I want to make cute toasts. I want to put them on vintage plates, and I want to serve them to people that we see every single day.
We want to make our own coffee creamer.
We want regulars.
I love you, Logan Square. I live in Logan Square, but I'm so sick of coffee that tastes like bitter lemon juice. I just want sweet cinnamon toast
We want
crunch
some
flavored
butterscotch.
coffee.
We want,
Yeah.
Biscoff coffee creamer.
Yeah, we just want to make the cafe that we want to hang out in all day.
You want to make the good shit.
The good shit.
good shit.
Yes.
Yeah, for the thick people.
Yes.
With comfy chairs.
We are not doing Edison bulbs. We're not doing phobic metal bar stools.
Concrete countertops.
Minimalist menu design. Absolutely not.
Yes. Where you're like, wait, where's the menu? Oh, it's that painting over there. That's the menu.
Abstract.
Yes.
You can have it if you find it.
Yeah. Yes,
Feel like
absolutely.
you are going to work to figure out what your appetite
Yes,
is.
When
and
you
our
first
barista
enter,
won't be
it-
nice to you.
Yes. When you first enter, there will be an escape room that you have to get through before the actual cafe.
Yes.
That we might do.
That's an idea.
Yeah. All right.
You actually don't get to pick your drink. You have to roll for it.
Dungeons and Dragons style.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit of bad magic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh
Just to
my
bring it full
God.
circle. I mean, you know.
Yes.
I was like, bad magic in the best way. Absolutely.
I think we just want to prove that you can make really good food. You can be a really valid part of the restaurant scene without being fussy.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
without being fancy. And you can be warm and inviting and enjoy some like Midwest hospitality.
Yeah, we want to, create the kind of environment that feels like home to people.
Yeah, like your eccentric grandma's house.
Yeah, like your
Love it.
eccentric, chain smoking grandma who.
Plastic on the comfy couches.
You will
Plastic
not
on
be
the
able to
comfy
smoke
couches.
inside the cafe, just to clarify.
Just like to clarify, no.
Except in our smoking lounge,
Which is the bathroom.
members only.
Got it. Yes. So
I know. Yeah.
But before I do it, Nariba,
Yes.
do you have anything else that you would love to ask our wonderful guests? The silence is deafening.
If you can have any mascot for your business,
Oh.
what would it be?
Like a costume.
Yes. Standing outside, spinning a flag.
What's your vote?
I literally almost just screamed something into the mic.
You know, I feel like the potato costume's been done.
But has it been done well?
I'm trying to figure out what, like a mortuary potato would look like.
Phallic potato.
Like a Victorian mourning potato.
Because I just have to throw this out there. So, I mean, because I feel like it's the potato of mammals, a capybara.
I knew you were fucking going to say that.
I'm sorry.
Then we'd have
it
to
makes sense.
play the song every
Capo.
time
No,
it runs out.
Okay, no, I wasn't doing that reference. I was not doing that reference.
We don't have money for that
They're so
song.
trendy right now.
No, that was not, no.
It is. Like every other TikTok is just fucking capybaras.
I'm gonna tell you a random fact. In 4th grade, I did a research paper on capybaras.
Are you going to tell us about the square poop?
The what?
No.
Okay.
I am not. So, continue, please. Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah, but I
that's
feel
it.
like capybaras are, potato mammals.
I do like to think I have 3 cats. I just got one
Yes.
last week, and I do like to think of them as the unofficial mascots. Their
Okay, yeah.
names
Oh, they
are
definitely are.
Ham, Hash, and Toast.
Yes.
Oh,
What's the newest one?
Toast.
How old is Toast?
6 months old.
She's so precious.
She's
Listen.
real cute. I
love it.
knew I was gonna find a way to talk about my fucking cats on this podcast.
Listen, I usually bring up my cats frequently, and I'm glad that someone else brought up cats today.
Oh, yeah,
because,
I'll take it.
Fun fact, cats naturally produce 25% more DMT in their brains than any other living creature.
That makes sense. They act like they're stoned all the time.
Yep, that's why.
I was gonna say
the
your
first-
cats are like at 45%.
That's why, like, for the first 2 years of getting like a kitten, I'm like, you're not real. You're trying to figure out how to live life on drugs.
Big time.
Like,
Big time.
so good luck.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well,
Tuck it in.
On that note,
before I do the things that I know that we have to do, my friends, how was your time with us?
so fun
We've enjoyed it so much.
Good.
Thank you for having us. This is very chill
and delicious
comfortable.
drinks.
Yes.
And we love
Yeah.
hanging out with you guys. You're so sweet for having
you.
us, and we love your energy.
Now you guys can come be on our podcast where we just ride around in the van and pretend we're on a podcast.
That sounds great. I'll just hit
Yes.
the
We just
record
shit
button on the
talk people.
iPhone. It'll be amazing. Yeah.
Honestly, we
You
just
know,
shit talk
Yeah,
people.
a little BTS for episode promo. I'm down.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, just simply let me know. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, let them say where they can be found.
Oh,
Read your
yeah.
other
Our
information.
show.
Yeah, we
Oh,
have
I thought you were about to go into your whole
No, I was
spiel.
gonna do the thing, and
Oh,
then-
well then, rewind.
No, you're fine. So,
Frame.
again, friends, how do we find you and all the amazing things that you're up to?
We have a website now. It is
Yes.
a long time coming. It's funeral-potatoes.com. That's where our menus live, our catering menus, our frequently asked questions because we know that ordering from an unconventional business can be intimidating.
Our orders are open from Saturday at 3 p.m. till Monday at 10 p.m. So that's when you can place your orders, and then we will deliver straight to your house.
Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
Is there any sort of like delivery limitation?
We go from Evanston to Hyde Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, you will deliver to me in Albany Park.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Okay,
time.
perfect. Because I haven't been cooking very much recently.
We got you, girl.
Sick.
Can you get me too? I'm with you.
Casseroles for
I
all.
was like, please.
But
thank
I be
you.
working every day, so I will get it delivered to my job.
Hell yeah. We got you.
Yes. So,
I'm sad now.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
How's anyone going to follow this up?
Oh my gosh. Well, on my end, I just want to give an absolute shout out to our home studio here at Blind Barber for hosting this necessary conversation. Also, Ritual Zero Proof for the support, these beverages that have been concocted by the wonderful Cheyenne English of Miss Perfect Pour, who
Damn
you
right.
may find on Instagram at Miss Perfect Pour.
Miss
And
underscore.
Miss underscore
Perfect
Perfect
Pour.
Pour.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nariba.
No worries. We send memes to each other.
And then also shout out to Corey Ice for providing what we have always believed is the secret ingredient in any beverage offering, which is the ice. And the interesting thing about Corey Ice is that they are a second chance program. And what that means is that they provide opportunity for those that have been disenfranchised. And they also cut their ice with the same the same steel used in Japanese samurai swords.
These
So-
are impressive ice cubes.
I
I
know,
gotta
right?
say, I'm
Right?
obsessed.
They've barely melted.
I want
Right.
one. I want.
Oh, well, we can talk about that off mic.
Yeah, you got this.
Gotcha. Yes.
Hand
Absolutely.
her one to
one.
carry in the car.
I was like, you can leave with one in a bit. It'll be fine.
You're fine.
I'll keep it forever.
It'll stay cold now that fake summer's
No
over.
worries. Yes, it's just like all you have to do is leave it outside for a little bit. Even though this will be dropping in, like, hopefully real summer. But also, thank you so much to the crew, Colin, Max, Marcus, Cheyenne. Thank you for stepping in on behalf of Garnet. And I'm just excited to be back.
Yeah.
And I am Justin Arnett Graham, and you can find me on Instagram at ThisIsBiko. And also, do not forget to follow us and, just support us wherever you get your podcast, because as we continue to grow and diversify, these things truly matter. So Terms of Service Podcast on Instagram, and any review on wherever you find us, because again, that shit matters. So, Nariba.
My name is Nariba Shepherd.
Stop it.
I was like, I didn't. Fine. My name is Nariba Shepherd. You can find me at Rebaroo on Instagram, and keep a lookout for our poll where you get to guess what race we are. Bye.